welcome to my channel. My name is Charlene. So I'm a lawyer in Sydney and I just recently graduated from my MBA degree. Currently I'm preparing for the New York Bar exams in July. So I think that on my spare time I want to practice my skills in terms of business and law and maybe a little bit of the journalism skill that I picked up in the past. So that's why I decided to create a business page to talk about law and business. And this is my first video. I hope you guys like it and I hope that I can continue doing it to make it a part of my own personal project and personal branding. So the topic that I have today is that I want to talk about technology in courts. As you guys all know, that because of COVID, everyone has have to work from home for most of the industries, or like some professional industry, especially for the office workers. And law inevitably is one of the industry that has been shifted a lot from the working in the office to working from home. It's not just about law firms, but also including courts. So for the courts that I clearly remember that my case actually was the first case that used Microsoft Teams for online hearing in the federal court. So even though it's a new experience for the court, but I think the judges are very open-minded and they are very technology branded. So yeah, so judges are kind of embracing it, at least in the federal court level. And even before we have Microsoft Teams, we have phones. So some courts are doing phone hearings. Then you will have solicitors joining the hearings by phone. And today in my work, especially for the litigation proceedings, so each proceedings will have their own matter number on court and they will have their own files. So each courts have their own online portal that the lawyers or the parties can register an account and access the documents that they file online. It's amazing from my experience. So I've been using the federal court portal a lot, and I think it definitely makes my life much easier just by logging in, and you can trace back to the files that has been filed maybe 6 years ago. And as you know, the court cases last for long and file management is really important. I think the technology kicks in the file management part so that we now have the electronic court system that we can access file electronically instead of going back to the old paper files that piling up on the back of the shelf or in some dark storage room. So yeah, I think now it's a combination between like paper file and electronic files, and it also depends on the person. I mean, depends on what kind of person you are. So for maybe for some older generation, lawyers, barristers, they still prefer like the hard copy briefs. But for new generation, especially for young graduates, I think everyone is pretty happy to embrace with the new technology and enjoy the benefit of it, which is really good. So after I've been talking a lot, you may ask, okay, what's the business opportunity in this area? So I think that you may get the answer already. I mean, if the court needs a digital platform, then definitely we need some people to do the infrastructure of the website and helps the court to maintain it. And High Court recently set up its own electronic portal as well, which is starting from January 2020. All the High Court cases will be filed online as well. So that's kind of new because it just a year ago, starting a year ago. I mean, there's a lot of technology components in the court now, and lawyers are allowed to bring the laptops to take notes. Previously, we only bring the notepad, like paper notepad and pen, but you can see that lots of solicitors are holding the the laptop and typing notes on the back of the court. And yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of opportunities in the law industries, even if you're not doing law, and especially even in the court, they're using lots of modern technology. And for some firms, they have their own file management system, and different firms are using different softwares. So I'm not sure how other business or how other companies sharing their files, but I mean, we also use something as simple as Google Drive or Dropbox or OneDrive link, things like that, to share a document. And of course, there are better ways to share documents securely, and there are lots of legal softwares that are available on the market. And I mean, this is definitely a great business opportunities for some tech companies or for some tech startups. And more companies or business-minded people are looking into the law industry to figure out what kind of opportunities out there. And yeah, and then it's not just for the law industry in Australia. As you know that Australia is in the common law system, which means there are some other countries within the same system that could be using the same kind of software. So, for example, I sometimes listen to the webinars that host by some US company or like Canadian company that they're trying to promote their own legal software. I think in my day-to-day life, I use software sometimes from America, provided by an American company. And we also have a lot of other technology that we use in the court proceeding, not just for file management, but also for billing, generating bills, recording our time, and a lot. Like, you can't imagine how life would be without all these softwares and technology. Alright, so this is my first video. I hope you guys like it. And I hope some of you may sense the opportunities in the law industry. Thank you.